Top 10 Anime Movies on Netflix. With anime becoming popular worldwide, it was only a matter of time before the streaming giant Netflix got caught up in the hype and demand as well. From quite a sparse collection of anime to an abundance of it, Netflix has certainly stepped up its game, not only in terms of series, but with movies as well. So without further ado, here are the top 10 standalone anime movies on Netflix. This means that we aren't including films which go with series, such as Naruto or Evangelion. And because pretty much every Studio Ghibli film is on there, and we believe them all to be great, we've limited our list to only a few Studio Ghibli films. Otherwise, the whole list would be a Ghibli list. So let's dive in. Number 10, A Whisker Away. If you love cats, then you're going to love this new film. A Whisker Away is a Netflix exclusive movie, which was released in 2020. The story revolves around a high school girl, Mio Sasaki, who has a crush on fellow classmate Kento Hinode. Mio expresses her crush in very over-the-top ways, which leads to Kento becoming embarrassed and rejecting her. Not one to take no for an answer, Mio has a secret up her sleeve which allows her to get close to Kento. What is her secret? She can turn herself into a cat through the use of wearing a cat mask. With this ability, Mio finds herself becoming increasingly attached to Kento. But when complications arise, will Mio be able to find her way back to her human self, or will she be stuck as a cat forever? This charming and sweet anime is one for the whole family, and will have you wondering just what would you do as a cat. Number 9, The Garden of Words. We've probably all skipped class at least once in our lives, whether that be through faking an illness or just not turning up. But when an aspiring shoemaker, Takao Akizuki, decides to skip class in order to sketch a beautiful garden one day, he comes upon an unexpected surprise when he meets a beautiful but mysterious woman called Yukari Yukino. After offering to make new shoes for her, Tako and Yukino continue to meet up and form a close bond. But when personal struggles start to creep into their little sanctuary, will their relationship be able to withstand the test coming its way? This beautiful and heartwarming anime might seem like a simple love story, but upon closer look, it's actually a tale about loneliness, friendship, and creating meaningful relationships in quite a lonely world. Number 8, Akira. If you haven't heard of the movie Akira, then you might be living under a rock. This is a classic film that actually broke the glass ceiling of the animation world. And what's more is that it wasn't only popular in Japan, but it made its way into the Western world at a time when anime was considered to be a bit of a niche and weird media. The story is set in a futuristic Japan in the year 2019, which is weird to think as now that's come and gone. After a third world war, caused by a psychic losing control of their abilities, Neo Tokyo is in complete disarray with gangs running rampant in the streets. The leader of one of these gangs is Shotaro Kaneda. After Shotaro's best friend and right-hand man, Tetsuo Shima, has a run-in with another psychic, he starts to develop his own psychic abilities. With these new powers on the loose, will another explosion happen, or will Tetsuo be stopped before it's too late? This classic movie touches on multiple genres, such as horror, drama, and sci-fi, and is a must-watch for fans of pop culture, as it did quite a lot to bring anime to the Western world. Kind of a problem here. If you guys don't like this video, Senpai won't notice me. Oh, phew. Thanks for clicking like. I'm sure he'll look at me now. Number 7, My Neighbor Totoro. We all know that Studio Ghibli has made some of the best anime movies of all time. Let's face it, they're classics. And one of the most famous films to come from the studio has to be the fun and heartfelt anime, My Neighbor Totoro. Well, thanks to Netflix, pretty much every Studio Ghibli film is available to watch, including this one. The story is fairly simple and easy to follow, which is one of its appeals, as it's an easygoing film which you can watch whenever. The story follows two young sisters, Satsuki and Mei, as they adjust to a life in a new home. They soon discover that living in the forest next to them is a cute troll called Totoro, who helps them out in their time of need. This is a beautifully animated movie, and it's also a great way to start getting into anime if you're new to it. Number 6, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Another Ghibli film now, and one that didn't get the best start. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind tells the story of a badass princess before it was cool. Nausicaa is a young girl who lives in a peaceful farming kingdom in a small valley, which is safe from the aftermath of a catastrophic nuclear war, which almost wiped out all of life on Earth. However, all of that changes when a foreign airship crashes into her kingdom, bringing with it an army from another kingdom. It's then up to Nausicaa to try and stop the foreign kingdom from causing another catastrophe, whilst also saving her village from the encroaching effects of the war. Originally, this movie was deemed a children's film, which led to the cutting of the more dramatic and meaningful moments. However, luckily, the version on Netflix is the original, so you can enjoy Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind in all its animated glory. Number 5, Howl's Moving Castle. Continuing our Ghibli Film Fest is the quirky but fun movie Howl's Moving Castle. Upon the wastelands where hardly anyone dares to go, It's said there lives a wizard in a roaming castle who is infamous for his magical prowess and his womanizing ways. At least that's the rumor that's told in Sophie Hatter's hometown. Sophie is a simple and plain girl who is content with working in her hat shop. However, one day she has a fateful and magical encounter with the wizard Howl, and from that point on, her life is never the same again. From jealous old witches, talking fire demons, and a supposed unbreakable curse. How will Sophie manage in this chaotic world she finds herself in? With Ghibli's staple beautiful animation and compelling storytelling, this is just another movie in a long list of Ghibli's repertoire, which is definitely worth watching. Number 4. Princess Mononoke. From stunning animation to a star-studded 90s cast for the English dub, Princess Mononoke really did prove that anime could attract a mainstream audience on a global scale. Set in the late Muromachi period of Japan, the film follows young Prince Ashitaka as he sets out on a journey to find a cure after his arm is cursed by a god of the forest. When he comes across a small town called Irontown, Ashitaka is soon caught up in a war between mankind and nature, as the gods of the forest fight back against the ever-encroaching humans. It's at this point he meets San, a young girl who was raised by the wolf gods of the forest, and who he develops a deep bond with. Steeped in Japanese mythology, Princess Mononoke is a timeless tale which brings up key themes, such as respect and understanding, whether that be for the land, the animals, or even your fellow humans. Number 3. Spirited Away. Arguably Studio Ghibli's most famous film, Spirited Away, is an anime that lots of people have seen or at least heard of, including those who might not be so well versed in anime. The story follows young Chihiro, who finds herself working in a bathhouse for spirits after getting trapped in the spirit world. Whilst trying to keep under the radar in order to not get eaten by said spirits, Chihiro also has the seemingly impossible task of trying to save her parents from being killed and eaten, as they've been turned into pigs due to their gluttonous eating of the foods that were prepared just for the spirits in the spirit world. The lesson here is don't just eat random things you find laying about. This epic story has won many awards, including an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, so if that doesn't get you watching, I don't know what will. Number 2. A Silent Voice the Movie. Released back in 2016, A Silent Voice has been highly rated by anime fans for its poignant storytelling and gorgeous animation. The film tells the story of Shoya Ishida, who, when he was in elementary school, bullied his fellow classmate, Shoko Nishimiya, due to her being deaf. After Shoko moves away due to the bullying, Shoya is ostracized by the rest of his classmates and left to grow up lonely and full of guilt. Now in his 3rd year of high school, Shoya still regrets his past actions as a young boy and is determined to find Shoko in order to apologize and make amends with her. This anime is a heartwarming tale of redemption with important messages, such as to always think about what your actions can do to others, as well as yourself. Before we tell you our number 1 pick for this list, do you think you can guess it? Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep making even more awesome top 10 anime videos. Coming in as number 1 on our list today is none other than the super popular and much beloved anime movie, Your Name. Your Name took the anime community by storm when it aired back in 2016, and for good reason too. This epic story of love and friendship, which spans across years, really hooked viewers in. The story follows 2 main characters, Mitsuha Miyamizu, a young high school girl who lives in the rural countryside, and Taki Tachibana, a high school boy who lives in Tokyo. They go about their everyday lives until one day they find themselves in each other's bodies, sort of like a Freaky Friday situation. From then on, the 2 must work together in order to continue their lives, whilst causing as little change and suspicion as possible, with unexpected twists and a compelling story. Your Name is probably one of the best anime movies that you'll see. Well, that's the end of our list. We hope you enjoyed it. What's your favorite anime movie? Let us know in the comment section below. And what other anime content would you like to see us cover? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Anime Dive. See you next time.